Let's welcome in NBC Boston's political commentator Sue O'Connell right now. Sue, you obviously a lifelong resident of Boston. The Catholic Church here certainly has deep roots. You sort of talk about today's effects that this news is having on the city.
Well, Colt, there's definitely a profound grief in Boston's significant Catholic community, where nearly 37% of all residents identify as Roman Catholics. And of course, one of the things that Catholics are thinking about, people of all faiths mourning the pontiff, who had a personal connection with former Cardinal Sean O'Malley and met with both Governor Healy and Mayor Wu at Vatican events last year. Of course, Francis's legacy is a people's pope who championed the poor, welcomed marginalized groups, and addressed climate change as deeply. He touched, the climate change issue touched this city so deeply. And of course, this city is often called the most Catholic major city in the U.S. So obviously, it's a deep impact today.
Well, it's also interesting listening to that story that just aired, right? Looking back at all the different ways that throughout his life he made headlines. Pope Francis becoming the first pope to address a joint session of Congress. You're our political insider, our political commentator. How exactly does that come to be? Well, what did he say? And honestly, the bigger question is, how did his words affect D.C.?
Yeah, it was an amazing thing. Pope Francis was invited by then Republican House Speaker John Boehner, and he addressed Congress September 24th, 2015, and began his speech by expressing gratitude for the invitation to speak in the land of the free and home of the brave. And then he highlighted immigration, the death penalty, racial injustice, poverty, and environmental concerns, and then talked about four notable Americans as worthy of emulation: Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King Jr., Dorothy Day, and Thomas Merton. And then the next day, Colton, Boehner announced his resignation from Congress. Later on, Boehner revealed that the Pope's visit helped finalize his decision to step down. He said the day before was the happiest day in Washington, D.C.
You know, it's interesting, too, because when you look back at his life, he never really sort of had tough words for anyone, while also not shying away from letting us, the public, know when he disagreed with a world leader. Most recently, that world leader has been President Trump. How important can that voice, that religious voice, become when it comes to sort of influencing world events?
Yeah, it's exceptionally important. And Pope Francis consistently has spoken truth to power, even within the Catholic Church, and particularly regarding Trump's immigration policies. The Pope called mass deportations a major crisis. Back in 2016, Francis criticized Trump's border wall proposal, stating that someone who, quote, thinks only about building walls wherever they may be and not building bridges is not Christian, end quote. And the Pope's legacy will be that he challenged political narratives that dehumanize migrants, directly countering theological misinterpretations, and speaking for the marginalized in ways that resonate across all religious and national boundaries.
Yeah. All right, Sue, as always, thank you.